So when I was 13 years old, I had this skinny fat physique, the worst physique ever. Fat belly, skinny arms, just the worst physique ever. And that made me very sad and very depressed. It made me very, very, very unattractive to girls and even guys. Like, no one wanted to talk to me or even come near me. Not only did I have this ass physique, that skinny fat physique that made me just so unattractive to girls, but I was also doing every single bad habit ever. I was, watching porn and fapping probably every single day. I was playing video games every single day, eating tons and tons of junk food, really, really bad food, soda and sugary foods and fried foods and just trash food. And I was honestly at a very, very dark time of my life. I was really depressed. I was really sad. I felt like everyone hated me and I hated my life. But then I got really, really sad and just hated the way I looked. Every single day I would get up and look in that mirror and see my physique and just hate myself even more. And understand that I was more of a loser. And I just hated it. I hated every single day looking at that mirror, looking at myself. I hated every single time I would go into class and no girl would even talk to me. I wouldn't even be able to talk to any girl. And I would see all of the other guys, keep talking to those girls. And I would just sit lonely in the corner, not able to even look at a woman. That made me hate my life. But then I went onto YouTube and I started searching, those dating videos, those videos where how to get girls and how to make her chase you and all those videos. I make them as well. But I kept watching those videos, and Hamza came up to me, and Hamza, he kept saying that the single greatest thing you can do to become more attractive to girls is to build an aesthetic physique. I remember right when he said that, every single time he used to say that, to make women obsessed with you, to make girls literally take screenshots of you, to make girls literally physically attracted to you, right? You have to build an aesthetic physique. And every time I would hear that, I would just have a million excuses come up into my head. I would have just tons of excuses, I'm too tired, I come back from school, I can't do this. I always had those excuses every single time I heard him, but just one day I was like, fuck it, I have to build this physique. I have to become more attractive to girls. I have to be more confident. And I got off my ass, and I remember this, I got 2 very light dumbbells. I just started, curling them and doing lateral raises, and I just kept doing that every single day. And day by day, at the beginning, honestly, I was still very sad. Yes, it was very fun and all that, but I was still very sad because I wasn't seeing any progress. I wasn't seeing any change in my physique. But then day by day, week by week, month by month, I start noticing that girls are holding eye contact with me. I'm getting building a little bit of muscle, just building a little bit of muscle. Just every single day, just doing that workout. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just doing very high rep curls and very high rep presses. I don't even know if I'm doing the right form or not. But I have a goal. I have this goal of building that aesthetic physique. And I just kept doing that for months and months and months. And I became the guy who is attractive to girls. I started having girls, started coming up to me and talking to me. Girls would hold eye contact with me. They would, text me without me even looking at them, just because of my physique. And I just had an abundance of women who were attracted to me just because of my physique, bro. Building an aesthetic physique is the single greatest way to be more attractive to girls. It is the single greatest way to make girls into you, to make girls obsessed with you, to make girls want you, And this is how you do it. So step one is prioritize the aesthetic muscles. Now, you know those guys, like there's this huge meme online that, you know, everyone says that muscle is attractive to girls, but I built muscle, I'm like 5% body fat, I have tons of muscle, but I'm not attracting any girls. You know, you keep hearing that every single time, like this conversation comes up of like your physique and attracting girls. Every single time, bro, someone says, but I have a good physique and I'm not attractive to girls. Yes, because you don't look sexy, you don't look masculine, you don't look good. Like, yes, these guys, like, they actually built muscle, but they train in just a stupid way, honestly. They don't train to prioritize the aesthetic muscles. They don't train for that V-taper physique. They just train like gym bros. They train like, you know, squat, bench and deadlift. Well, of course, you're gonna have like a bodybuilder physique that doesn't look good at all. That's not attractive at all, you know? So the first thing, step one, is to prioritize the aesthetic muscles. And there's 6 muscles, all right? So the 6 aesthetic muscles, and in this order, are shoulders, back, arms, upper chest, then abs, and then traps. These are the 6 aesthetic muscles. Shoulders, back, arms, upper chest, abs, and traps. These 6 aesthetic muscles, you have to prioritize these muscles. And you prioritize them by, you know, hitting them hard. Hitting these muscles the hardest. You have to train these muscles the most. You know what's the best way to prioritize a muscle? Just train them first. Train these muscles first, especially the shoulders and the back. Especially these 2, you should prioritize the most. Like, you have to train your shoulders and your back in the beginning. Like, I know most guys will tell you, no, you have to do bench in the beginning of your workout. It's bullshit. You prioritize the muscles that you want to grow the most. And in your case, if you want to have like a sexy, you know, aesthetic, attractive physique with like a V-taper, you have to train your shoulders, you have to train your back first. I personally, in my push workout, I start with overhead press and lateral raises, and then go on to my chest and my tricep work. And you might say, well, I'm gonna be fatigued. I don't want to be fatigued before I do my bench press. Well, that's good, because you trained the most important muscles, the biggest muscles actually, which are the shoulders and your back. You trained them first. So these are the muscles that will grow the most. Now that doesn't mean that the other muscles will not grow. It just means that these muscles are prioritized more, right? So train these muscles first. Make them the priority. That's step one to building an aesthetic physique. Now, how do you actually train these muscles? And this is step 2. This is how you train, right? This is the best way to train, honestly. This is the way that will build for you the most muscle, and this is the way that built for me the most muscle, is HIIT. You train with high intensity training, and I'm gonna explain what is high intensity training. So high intensity training has 4 like pillars, or 4 like guidelines. Like, if you do these 4 things, you train high intensity training. So if you do these 4 things, you are essentially training in high intensity training, which is honestly, in my opinion, the best way, and the way that built for me the most muscle. Now, to train high intensity training, The first thing is train to failure. You have to train to failure, bro. You have to train to failure to maximize motor unit recruitment and to maximize basically how much muscle you are building. The more you train to failure, the more muscle you build. It's that simple. The harder you train, the more muscle you build. So you have to train to failure in order to recruit all motor units, basically. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to do less sets per exercise. Generally, you do just 1 to 2. You just do 1 to 2 sets. That's all you do. 1 to 2 sets to failure. That's the thing. You have to do 1 to 2 sets to failure, even beyond failure if you want to do that. But 1 to 2 sets to failure. All right. The third thing, which is essential for high intensity training, is progressive overload, which is basically just lifting heavier weights and doing more reps over time, basically. So every single time you go into the gym, you either do more weight and you do more reps. Either you do one of the two, basically. So train to failure, do just 1 to 2 sets, increase the weight or the reps, excuse me. And number 4 is less frequency. You don't train as much in the gym. You train basically just, I would say 2 to 4 times. 2 to 4 times per week. That is a general good guideline, basically. So I personally, I train push-pull legs, but I do push, rest, pull, rest. So I train 1 day on, 1 day off. So today is a leg day for me. Tomorrow I will not train, but after tomorrow I will do push. So it's like 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off. That is what works best for me. You could do, or you can do the same thing as me. So first of all, prioritize the aesthetic muscles, which we have said, and train in this way. This way literally has so much studies and science behind it, is that it works. It freaking works. Train to failure, progressive overload, do less sets, do less frequency. So that's the second thing. Alright, so we've talked about the training part, which we said prioritize the aesthetic muscles and just train high intensity training. Now let's go on to the diet you need to build an aesthetic physique. And diet, I know people like to overcomplicate it, but it is very, very, very simple. So that's step 3 is your diet. So step 3 is diet. Now, in terms of diet, you are going to do something that is, it's called basically just a lean bulk. You are going to lean bulk. Now, what the fuck is a lean bulk? So a lean bulk, you do 2 things. You, first of all, you limit processed foods. But second of all, you eat a lot of healthy foods. So you limit processed foods and you eat a lot of healthy foods. This is what you do in a lean bulk. So you eat a lot, you eat more than what you're currently eating, but more of healthy food, and you eat less, way less of processed food like junk food, you know, sugar, fried foods and bakery foods. You limit all that. So this is what you do in terms of your diet. Like I'm gonna draw this in a better way, just so you can understand it more. So processed food, you limit, and healthy food you eat more of. So you basically eat less processed food, less bad food, and you eat more healthy food. That is basically a lean bulk. But you eat a lot. You eat more. You eat a lot. You're in a bulk still. So, like, people have this idea that you just need to eat healthy. No, you need to eat a lot of healthy food. And I promise you, if you eat a lot of healthy food, you eat just healthy food, but you eat a lot of it, it is literally impossible to not have a six-pack and not gain fat. Like, if you actually eat healthy food and you eat a lot of it, it's impossible. It's actually really hard. Like, it's actually really, really hard to eat a lot of healthy food. Like, the lean bulk it's fucking hard. But if you keep doing it, you will, first of all, you will gain tons and tons of muscle, but at the same time, you will lose and not gain any fat, basically. You will lose all of the fat. So you will lose fat and build muscle at the same time if you do a lean bulk. Like, I personally, I like to do what is known as like the 80-20 rule, which you eat 80% of what you eat is good food, is healthy food, is nutritious food, and 20% is like processed food, is like bad food. And the reason I say 20% is because you can't really limit processed food. You can't really eliminate processed food completely. Like, life happens, you know. Like, I know I talk about, like, you have to limit junk food and you have to try your best to not eat any junk food at all. But sometimes it happens, sometimes you slip up, and that's okay. So I'll just revise here really quickly with you, bro. So the first thing we said is prioritize the aesthetic muscles to build an aesthetic physique, which are shoulders, back, upper chest, abs, traps, and arms, right? Prioritize these muscles, train them first, blah, blah, blah. We've said all this, all right? The second thing is we said to train right. Train high intensity training. Train in the way that I always speak about, bro. The best way. High intensity training. You do train to failure. You do less sets. You train just 1 to 2 sets. You do progressive overload, so you increase the weight or the reps, and you do less frequency. So you train 2 to 4 times per week. It's that simple. And the third thing we're saying right now is to limit processed food. You do a lean bulk, so you eat less processed food and you eat a lot of healthy food. If you do that, you will lose fat and maximize muscle growth at the same time. Now, the last step, and honestly, the most important thing, honestly, because without this, you can't really do anything. Step 4. Is sleep. And I know people don't care about sleep while their sleep is fucked up, but sleep is so important. Like, if you actually have like good sleep, like you wake up at the same time, we're gonna explain how to have good sleep right now, but if you have good sleep, it will make you way more attractive than someone who has bad sleep. You know, it makes you so attractive because it shows that you're healthy. It shows that you take care of yourself. Now, the two best tips I will give you on sleep are, number 1 is get 7 to 10 hours of sleep per day. So 7 to 10 hours, you have to make that a goal, to get 7 to 10 hours of sleep per day. And second of all, make your room cold and dark. So this is really powerful. So your body has a hormone that's called like melatonin. It's a hormone it basically makes you more sleepy. It makes you want to sleep. And this hormone is triggered when you, first of all, when you're in a cold environment. So, you know, when you're in like school when you're sitting in school and you're in like the front desk and the AC is on you, you feel really, really sleepy, because the AC, the coldness of the AC, it makes you feel cold, so it increases the melatonin, so it makes you feel sleepy. And the second thing is to make the room dark. And we know this, like a dark place makes you more sleepy, of course. Like even in like, if you think like 100,000 years ago, right? In the caveman days, when someone would be in a dark place, he would naturally sleep. When the sun would go down in the nighttime, we would sleep because it's dark. So to increase melatonin, to be more sleepy, to fall asleep in like 2 minutes, basically. Make your room cold, make your room dark. It's that simple. And bro, honestly, like an aesthetic physique, it will literally change your life. Like if you follow this, bro, if you actually follow this and you pursue this journey, I promise you it is so worth it. I know you have tons of excuses right now, but I promise you it is worth it. I'll tell you a story. Yesterday I was like in one of my friend's houses, and he lives in this like very fancy place, you know. There's like tons of like fancy restaurants, and he's in this like very rich place. And I'm honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest, of course I had like the physique and all that, like the muscle and all that, but I was also like, I'm dressed well, you know, I'm wearing like good clothes and all that, and I'm just walking, like I'm just existing, you know, just walking, and like a lot of girls just, you know, holding eye contact with me, you know, smiling at me, just because of my physique. Yeah, of course I was like wearing like good clothes and all that, but most of it was because of my physique. Like if I wore the same clothes and I was still that loser, I wouldn't have been able to do anything, right? And I just got this thought of, man, like if this was the same scenario like 3 years ago, I wouldn't have had any of this, any of it at all. Like bro, I know you don't believe me right now, I know you think I'm lying right now, or like, who's this little kid, what's he trying to tell me? But it's true. Like an aesthetic physique will literally change your life. It will make girls attracted to you, it will make you more confident, it will make you more healthy, it will improve your mental health, it will improve every single aspect of your life, bro. And I'm gonna finish this off with like a little segment, because I know you have so many excuses right now, and you probably are not gonna go and work out right now, and I'm gonna explain to you why you're getting these excuses right now. And this is like deep psychology, bro. Like if you understand this, you're a G. You're gonna be a G, honestly. So you as a person, you as a human being, you have identities, right? You have, let's call you right now version 1. This is you right now. We'll call him like V1, like version 1, right? This is version 1 of you. And this is the version of you who's like, you know, watching videos like this. You probably like eat a lot of junk food, you play a bit of video games, like you're not so confident, you stress, you know, you hate your life, basically. This is version 1 of you, right? And you have this right here, this version 2 of you, this new identity of you. And this other identity, this right here, it's you, but this is like your best version, the best version of you, who's like got the best physique, like the most aesthetic physique, you know. You got your diet on point, you know, you're training hard in the gym, you're prioritizing the aesthetic muscles, you have that perfect 10 out of 10 V type of physique, you're just extremely attractive to women, you're like, women are just obsessed with you. This is version 2 of you. This is version 1, who's like the current version, you know, loser version of you, and this is your best version, right? And you have this goal. Like, let's say this star is the goal, And this goal is building the aesthetic physique, basically. So this store right here is building the aesthetic physique. Now, when you go to the gym, when you eat clean, when you do the things that get you the aesthetic physique that I just said, the 4 steps, you get closer to version 2. So this right here, you go to the gym. And this right here, you lean bulk. This right here, you improve your sleep. Every single day you do that, every single time you do that, you get closer to your new version. But what happens when you get closer to your new version, to the version of you who's like the most confident, who's most attractive, who's got the best physique? This version, it like gets like shot, basically, if that makes sense. This version of you gets shot in the face. And the closer you get to this like perfect version of you, the more you kill off this version of you. But the problem is, this version of you, the loser version of you, what it's gonna do is it's gonna give you every single excuse in the book. It's gonna try to resist as much as possible. It wants to survive. It wants to stay alive. It doesn't want to leave you. But the more you go to the gym, the more you eat clean, the more you improve your sleep, the closer you get to that best version of you, and the more you kill off this past version of you. This is why you're getting excuses, bro. It's because you have to kill your old version to get closer to your new version. But your old self will give you every single excuse in the book. It will keep telling you, no man, you're too tired, no, you can't do this, no, you don't have time. It's gonna give you so many excuses. But what you do, use discipline, use willpower to just keep going to the gym, keep eating clean, keep trying to improve your sleep. You keep doing these things, you keep doing them, and then suddenly this version just dies off, and you find yourself that you actually are this version 2 of you. You actually became him. You became the guy who just has an aesthetic physique, who loves going to the gym, who loves eating clean, who has like amazing sleep. This is how you do it. It's just pure pain. It's just pure work. It's just pure going to the gym, eating clean, improving your sleep. You just keep doing those things every single day, and I promise you, you will get that physique. You will get that attraction from girls, bro. This is how you do it, bro. And as always, we're in this together, and we're gonna make it. Promise you, we're gonna make it together. Peace, take care.